It all started in my old forge in Ventura, California in the early 60s. It was a crude little shop, but we were making the world's best climbing equipment. You know, we were making stuff for ourselves, number one, and we happened to be on the kind of the cutting edge of climbing at the time. None of us wanted to be businessmen, that's for sure. Had to do something just to support our climbing habits and surfing habits. I hired kind of dirtbag friends who were climbers and surfers and stuff, and every time the surf come up, we'd all abandon the shop and go surfing. One day in 1968, my friend Doug Tompkins said, "Hey, let's go down to Patagonia and go climb Mount Fitzroy," and picked up a 16mm Bolex camera to record the trip. Loaded the car up with surfboards and climbing gear and took off for a 10,000-mile trip down south. I think from the time we decided to go, it was like 2 weeks before we went. We bought this old van and took off from Ventura. Conquerors of the useless. That's what we were. You learn that what's important is how you got there, not what you've accomplished.
I'm drawn to open country. It's where everything becomes clear, where the world makes the most sense. When I put myself out there, I always return with something new. A friend once told me, the best journeys answer questions that in the beginning you didn't even think to ask. Taking a trip for 6 months, you get into the rhythm of it, it feels like you can just go on forever doing that. Climbing Everest is the ultimate and the opposite of that, because you get all these high-powered plastic surgeons and CEOs. And, you know, they pay $80,000 and they have Sherpas who put all the ladders in place and 8,000 feet of fixed ropes. And you get to a camp and you don't even have to lay out your sleeping bag. It's already laid out with a little chocolate mint on the top. And the whole purpose of climbing something like Everest is to affect some sort of spiritual and physical gain. But if you compromise the process, you're an asshole when you start out and you're an asshole when you get back. The hardest thing in the world is to simplify your life. It's so easy to make it complex. The solution may be for a lot of the world's problems is to turn around and take a forward step. You can't just keep trying to make a flawed system work. It's right here. It's right here.